Traders and investors, we just had an extended break here, but we're back with, I guess we can call him Mighty Joe Gits, President and CEO of Social Market Analytics. And Joe, I first want to give you a shout out. You got some nice ink and barons last week.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, that really went well. We've been getting a lot of press lately. Actually, this morning I am calling you from South Beach. I'm speaking this morning at the Credit Suisse Global Trading Forum. It was their number one signed up for seminar, and professional hedge funds are using this data. There's a ton of interest in it, and I'm a big believer that specifically your users should have access to it. So it's valuable data, and the pros are using it, so let's make sure that the active traders get access to it too.
Okay, before we go into to the actual symbols and stuff, and I know you're really good about this every week as far as explaining it, but let's say this someone's the first time they're listening to the show, okay,
right,
and they decide to go to your site, okay. What should they do? I mean, they get the free trial or whatever, but just walk us through that, please.
Yeah. So what they should do is they should sign up for a report. We are giving free trials out so you can use the data. What you're going to get is 2 times prior to the market open, you're going to get a report of the top 10 and bottom 10 securities. Okay? Top 10 and bottom 10, you're going to get sector summaries, industry summaries, and then you're going to get any custom securities that you want to enter. And what that information gives you is the list of securities that are going to be moving higher statistically, and the list of securities that are going to be moving lower. And we measure that with deviations from a baseline level. So on the chat room this morning, I was talking about a number of securities, and 3.96 came up for one of them. And what that means is that the conversation in social media is 3.96 standard deviations more positive than normal. For example, last week during the show, I don't know if you guys remembered, and I happened to bring up Netflix.
Correct.
And Netflix had a -4 delta, and it just popped, and it just dropped through the floor. And the negative delta is a change in sentiment. In 1 minute, the sentiment went from slightly positive to a -4. So it dropped four full deltas. And that's a big deal. And that's the kind of information that our clients are seeing prior to the market open. So you go to our site, you sign up for one of the reports. We're going to email you. If you want to sign up for the common one, which is the $99 package, you get real-time alerts. So intraday, when customers are looking at individual securities or they're looking at the market, we're going to send you a text, a private tweet, or an email saying that one of your stocks hit your user-defined criteria.
Okay, Joe, thanks, because that's important for people how to use it. So let's get to the movers today. Let's make
fun day today. We got a good one today. So today is all about the positive. So in the top 10, after we do our filtering, we have obviously 10 strong positives. And on the negative side, and it just changed since I started on the chat room, we have one statistically significant negative this morning, and that is ACN, Accenture. And that's a -2.915. All the other negatives are not what we would call statistically significant. So a 2 or lower, -2 or lower, a -2 or +2 or higher on the upside. Some other ones that are on that negative side and could go to Regeneron, REGN, and Merck. So some drug stocks today.
Okay.
So there's your short report for today.
Okay, just looking at REGN here for this wild child here, very well-defined resistance, the 316 to 318 area, call that 317, 3 highs in a row, settled 311.86, just hanging in there in the pre-market here. So this is one that you might get a chance to whoop up on at the opening, at the closing price.
Yeah, so, and then Merck. And that there really isn't much more on the negative side. So let's go to the positive side, if you will. So on the positive side, one of my all-time favorites, obviously, is Twitter.
Okay.
2.82 positive today. So that doesn't make it into the top 10 this morning, but it is statistically significant. So the top 10 is a lot of positive stuff. So let's start. The number one positive this morning is Alcoa, AA, and someone asked about it on the chat room this morning. So that is a 3.946, and what that means, for your listeners is that the current conversation is nearly 4 standard deviations more positive than normal. And when we talk about, every week we talk stocks that are at that level as being very rare. It's very rare for an individual stock, but if you're an active trader, our information will give you a list of 10, 11 stocks that are going to move every day.
Okay.
Okay, so
all right.
Alcoa, and that's also got a really high volume. Your volume is 4.1 standard deviations more than normal. This is one that, the next one is one that is a really good social media stock. It normally shows up on the negative side. Lululemon, L-U-L-U.
Wild day yesterday in that issue.
Yeah. So that is a 3.857 standard deviation today, and high volume again. Red Hat, number 3, RHT.
It's funny. It's some of the stocks that we covered earlier in the show.
Oh, cool. RHT, Signet Jewelers. And that is a 3.83 with, once again, a high volume, SIG.
What's the symbol on that one?
SIG, Sam, Indigo, Gold.
Okay.
Now, Joe, this is Kyle here. Now, when you're pulling up these stocks and you're looking at the pre-morning screen and whether they're, positive or negative, so all these, the most positive stocks here on the SMA screen for social media sentiment, are people just entering longs, or how are you seeing people play those when you see them up on the screen?
Well, it depends on the trader strategy. So we talk about this every week. This is a tool in your toolbox. So if you're an options trader, you could be selling vol. If you're a buy and hold, you can be getting long in position. I would look to see where it opens, and then I'd enter my trade. If you're a contrarian, you can let it pop $5, $6. The contrarian side is much better on the negative side. So what you'll see is the stock will open up down $5, $6, $7, $8, and then you get a little bit of a pop before it goes lower. So that on the short side, you get a lot of chances to step in and up it. So it really is an indicator of stocks and their primary direction. So however you guys want to trade that, I know from my personal side, I'll step in and buy. I typically won't do the options only because I don't have the opportunity to watch it as closely as I would like. I have a number of friends that do straddles, so they put straddles on. So there's a lot of different ways to trade this information.
Do you see any correlation of how long a sediment rating, or the S score as you call it, will last on a stock? So like right now you have a really positive one on AA, but how long will that last typically?
When we look at the data, you'll see that on the long side there'll be statistical follow through for up to 5 days. On the short side, you'll see follow through for about 3 days. I was talking to a guy here yesterday at the conference, and he was telling me that he has generated signals as an overlay to a momentum strategy, and his average holding period is 10 days. What's interesting about this data, so if you go back, you probably have some CFA customers out there. If you go back and go through your CFA stuff, what you really want to know is, is it predictive? Is it robust? Is it reproducible? And so for the robustness, is the signal strong enough to generate a return that overcomes commission and slippage? And what I'm seeing from my customers here at the show is that absolutely up to 5 days, you get a signal that's significantly strong enough to overcome those drags.
Hey, Rocket Hilly's just asking something here about, getting the signals in the afternoon before the market closes, but
Yep.
you reset your data at that time, right?
Yeah, so we do publish for our customers an end of day report. And the end of day report is more of a wrap up of what happened that particular day, going into the night sessions, what's active. The challenge with that is if you compare, I know today's going into the weekend, but if you compare last night's report with what was on the information this morning that our customers are looking at, you'll see some pretty good turnover. But to answer your question, yeah, we do publish an end-of-day report as well.
Okay, Joe, sorry for the short segment today. We got to get our other guest on here. Thank you for participating, and we'll get things squared away, get you back on next week. Thanks a lot, Joe.
Enjoy
All right,
Celtics,
guys. Have
buddy.
a great weekend, everybody. Bye.
Okay. Thank you.